Okay, I've hit start. And then let's see. I need to share my screen with you.
Stop. When people hang out.
I like that. How's he done that?
I hope that was live.
Big fat Spider-Man, how have you done this?
Big fat Spider-Man has been.
The thing in chat, do you see it?
I'm trying.
That must be an emoji. There is no way that he typed it out.
Yeah, I just am having trouble scrolling on Twitch chat, so no, I guess I can't see it.
Oh, it is.
Okay. So has the let's see here. I'm wondering whether. Oh, I think we're actually live. Okay. Okay. So sorry for the unscheduled interruption there. I'd like to blame my cat, who was playing with the power cord, and took out my computer and both monitors. I'm like, what? Where'd everything go?
No.
Help.
It was a catastrophe.
Oh.
Nope. It did not save your progress on the word strokes in paragraph 1, the last sentence.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I have an applause from the chat from my cat joke, please? Thank you.
Can you guys still see my cat?
Oh.
That's something that I have to build into content. Actually, is a browser storage interface.
Well, normally I'm pretty good about doing. So there is a Control S now, which is very handy. Oh, I think I skipped one. I skipped stand in line. I'll have to go back and do that one. But this is golf code. Okay.
Oh.
ST.
Oh, it was asking.
It is fixed, isn't it?
No.
It is. It's fixed, but this is not. The display is not fixed.
Oh.
It's just.
Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Oh, maybe I had 2 errors and I only fixed one of them. Anyway, give that person some brownie points.
Who's this?
It is John.
I will give them.
Hey, Johns Lucas. What's your username on Gitter/GitHub?
I think it is Johns Lucas.
Well, I'm going to send some brownie points to that person. Hopefully, that's a real person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to continue solving this, even though it's like really scintillating streaming here. I'll just type quickly.
Oh, I don't like your if-else statements.
Oh, you really don't?
Don't mind me. Yeah. No, I don't care. I have no opinion. If it works, it works.
Well, remember that you have to learn it the wrong way in order to learn it the right way.
I know. I'm uber pragmatic. I'm so like, if you want to push the buttons in that order, it's like whatever works. I'd be a terrible repo manager. Everything would be different.
Okay. Let's see. +1.
Oh, Carolyn Hannon just did it using Switch.
Oh man. Well, I guess I'll have to try it. Actually, if she can cut and paste her code, then I will try it after I try this one.
Ooh.
Oh, except I can't. For some reason, the Twitch chat has not come up for me yet.
It's okay. They're just making fun of you for using double and single quotes.
Oh, am I switching back?
You need to consistently change style every 5 seconds.
I do the same thing, Rex. That doesn't. Yeah. That's not any reason to do it. Just I suck too, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay,
we're a special boat of stuff.
So I actually don't have to hard code the if on this.
But you could.
And in fact, I'm not even going to drop an else on it. I'm just going to say, go home. Because really, if you are getting 6 strokes, then... Okay, so let me run it and see if I got it right. Oh, interesting. Nope. So 4-1 should return hole in 1.
There's no exclamation point.
Ah! Pair coding. Right there. Pair programming. All right. Okay, so has Carol posted her solution yet?
Carol.
On that, I think we should make that exclamation mark optional because I can just see the onslaught of GitHub issues of this challenge doesn't work. And the amount of people like told, no, it's the exclamation point. Don't forget it.
You think I should remove the exclamation point?
No, but just make like a regex that makes it like an optional.
Oh.
If it's done, if it should already be done with the regex, but just make the exclamation point optional.
It's not a regex though. It's a strict equals. But I could do it. I could turn it into a test.
I will leave it then. If it's too hard, leave it.
I mean,
just seems like a nicer thing.
Sometimes you have to check for what's different, and sometimes the thing that's different is an exclamation point. It's pretty clear about what it's supposed to equal.
Okay. Well, if Carol does come through with her code, then I will paste it in here and see if it passed the test, because I'm interested to find out if it does. I think
Carol, if you get a warning, do not panic. I'll fix that, and just repaste it in after that. I don't know what to turn on a MoveBot. It definitely does not like links. Actually, do you know what? I'll just do that now. So you can paste it however you like, and then that saves that issue.
Can we make Carol a moderator?
No, there's a regulars thing under MoveBot, and you just add. You get 100 regulars, and you just add down 50 regulars. Sorry.
Carol says there's the same test twice, and she's right. Again, everybody, go give her brownie points.
I think we should just let her take over.
Well, okay. Now the question is yeah. Okay. How do you feel about how is your employment situation? Okay, let me look at and see if the problem may be that I just didn't update the display. Yeah, okay, so it's actually testing 5.2. I just forgot to update the output. But give that woman some brownie points if you haven't already.
We have another golf score, 4.2 should return eagle, which is true. It's 2 under par.
It is, doesn't it? 4.2 is equal? Yeah? Eagle?
Wait.
That's right.
4.2 equals eagle. Then why is 5.2 also eagle?
That is a very good point.
Oh.
That's an albatross.
That is an albatross.
The reason is because I think technically you can have like a double eagle or something.
Then it's a double eagle.
Right. But I didn't want to write. I didn't want to make everybody have to write every possible solution, and so in fact, like there's double and triple and quadruple bogeys and so on.
I think it only goes to triple bogey, and then it goes to plus, and then albatross. I don't think it's possible like a hole that exists that goes higher than albatross. Yeah,
I mean, so like getting 2 on a par 5, I think would be a double eagle, but the main thing is that
3 under par.
That I just didn't want to. I didn't want to have the table be so huge that it was going to take forever. I mean, you saw how long it took for me to type all this baloney in.
You had to find somewhere to trim the fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think double eagle specifically is a wiggity what? It's a 4.
Terminal.
It's a double 2.
Well,
double
right.
top.
So there's how it is in reality, and then there is how I've written the code. So you need to conform to what I've written in this table, or you will not pass the test. So that's what it comes down to. So did we ever get Carol's code?
I think she's putting it in a getter, but I thought she put post there. Actually, it could be a getter.
She says she's gonna put it in the FCC main.
Don't bother trying to format or anything. Just literally chuck it in there. If people give out, I'll sort them out. I'll tell them what for.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Well, anyway, I'm gonna move to the not actually technically the next one, but the previous one, which is what I'm calling stand in line.
Ellie. Hello.
Oh, hi, Ellie.
Ellie? I can't read that name.
Oh, here we go. Carol has got her solution right here.
Carol.
Let me cut and paste that in there.
Ah, I see. Very nice.
So cool.
So I don't know. Let's see. But she does have semicolons that she doesn't need. But we'll
you can
forgive her
change
that.
that last case to a default, actually.
Yeah, and actually. Well, I'm gonna run hers. Oh, except it's not console log; it's return.
This is.
He's just thrilled that he gets to fix something for Carol instead of the other way around.
Why is it? Oh, and then and if we do return, then we don't need the break. So I'm just going to ignore those.
Like, I'm just pointing out it's doable, you guys. And you're right. You're right. You're always right.
Okay.
New console. You don't have to defend yourself.
And
He's
it
saying
passes. So once again, she has my...
she's the queen.
She is the queen. She's the
The
dancing
Beyonce
queen.
queen.
Can be Quincy.
Only 17. Okay. So somewhere in here, okay, bonfire shopping list. I skipped a bunch of these. Okay.
Is that Ava?
It is.
No.
So we've got,
See? I got it.
so we talk about all of the array access stuff, and I've added a new thing about multidimensional arrays. So the shopping list
LL to you too, Raphael.
is super, super simple. What we have you doing is just generating entries here. So
What is the meaning of this?
and we are
What are you
getting...
nesting?
Ooh, do you want me to get my actual shopping list we can put on there?
Okay, and soda. We're gonna be really fat,
Soda.
and we're getting a 6-pack, and then we're gonna do
Soda pop.
soda pop
You Americans and your
Soda
terms.
here, sody
Soda.
pop,
Soda
and
pop.
then bread because a man's gotta eat, and we're getting 2
Or a
loaves.
lady. Hello.
Hmm?
Hello.
Because a lady's gotta eat.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but the ladies eat bonbons, right?
I love bonbons.
We can eat what we want to. It's my birthday, dude. I eat cake.
Cake got clout. Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Cake. Thank you.
Woo. Let's get a big happy birthday in the chat. I want to see a happy birthday wave. Laugh, wave.
Okay.
It's
So-
gonna take 10 seconds.
So the
to
idea
get
here is
involved.
just to get them used to the idea of building string
that
literals with a multi-dimensional array. And we've got a bunch of test cases on it that go through and test everything.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
So
I like-
we're validating that each substring is a string,
Okay.
that the first instance is a string, and that the second is a number. And so, like, if any of these were not a number,
Let's
and I
try.
run, then it fails, right? So that's not a number, so it fails, right? And if I put anything that's not a string here, then this other one fails. And you have to have at least 5 items. So if I get rid of that one,
What are the options? Oh,
then it also fails.
I'm
So-
going for cake.
How do you vote?
Exclamation point.
You're like
Uh,
literally typing in there.
Vote, and then what you want. I put cake. I don't know. Oh, Coke.
Oh, I put real cake because I mean, it's my birthday, man.
It's putting down Coke instead of cake.
Oh.
Oh.
Whatever.
it's,
the correct typo
it's
there.
not that kind of birthday? I don't know.
You can have any form of soda pop that you like. You can have Coke, pop, or soda.
Whatever.
No kids, you're only getting Coke.
I guess it's not working. So,
Anyway, this
I'm
is
just gonna keep voting for things.
okay, back to the map. Let's see here.
I spelled sausage wrong.
Oh, I didn't actually submit my code.
Invalid vote. I love that. Nice.
Okay, so we have word blanks. We have shopping list. We have stand in line. Okay, so this is another array manipulation one. And so we describe a queue. I'm hoping this is an abstract data structure where items are kept in order. New items can be added to the back of the queue, and old items are taken off the front of the queue. Write a function queue, which takes an array and an item as arguments. Oh, I guess this should be, let's see, move the item to the end of the array, and then remove and return the item in the front of the queue. So what we're going to say here is we're going to say r push. We're pushing item on the end, and we're returning our shift, I think.
Yeah, just to like really be anal about stuff, is that display code not being moved to the footer at this point? Or is that how the footer is being handled right now?
what?
So this this is actually being it actually I have a function that captures the console log.
Mm-hmm. And spies it, and I knew about that. It was more. I thought the foot hasn't been implemented properly. It's just putting it in.
Well,
Or you're not using the foot at all when you're making challenges.
no, I'm using the header and the footer.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is I'm enabling the capture of the console log and storing it in a string. The reason that I did it this way is because I wanted to be able to show the before and after to allow them to enter an arbitrary value. Right? This allows them to add their own value to the end or to change this if they wanted to. Right? So I've modified this line of test. Maybe it's more than is actually needed.
Okay.
I don't know. But it should work because see how it gives this really pretty output on the left here?
Yeah.
I wanted that to be available, and there was literally no other way to do it without.
Does that not work when you put it in the footer? No, it gives you that output.
Well,
Or
I
does
could
it
make it
return
do that,
undefined?
but they wouldn't be able to modify their code. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that works.
Anyway, so we just have some basic tests here that it validates that it pushes things on the end of the queue and so on.
Awesome.
Okay. So that passes. And let's go back to the map.
Have you got these sitting in the pull request or not? Or are they,
Yeah, they're all on a on my
on a branch,
on a branch on my instance of it.
but they're not pull requested yet. No.
Correct. Not yet. No, I need to talk to. I want to get this on the live beta site.
Yeah, just as a forewarning, all pull requests are broken right now. Travis is failing to build everything. It seems to just hit. I think what's happened is the Greenkeeper thing updated the dependency, and Travis doesn't like the new dependency. I think it actually said in the pull request that Greenkeeper made, this will break because you haven't done this compatibility thing. And then somebody merged it, and now it's there. But if you look at the pull request, everything seems like a certain date failed. Because is it IT Gitman? He was streaming earlier, and I was watching him do stuff, and actually his pull request failed, and his Travis failed, and he was wondering why that was. But actually, all pull requests have failed.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what?
Fuck 'em.
Golf code actually occurs before I introduce else statements.
What?
That's a problem.
Well, change that.
Yeah. That's
Like a
gotta
problem.
get fixed big
That's a
time.
big deal.
That did work. What?
Well, then where the heck am I gonna put it?
Behind if else statements.
I think it needs to happen after the if else statements.
That's what I said in my brain, but not with my mouth.
Yes. Okay.
What's that thing?
What's what thing?
He's doing pull requests right now.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you. Look at that thing in the. How do I send things in Hangouts? Oh, I'm confused.
I don't know what he's
I'll
doing.
send it to you and get it. Like, this is incredible. This blows my mind. I don't even know what this is.
Wait.
Scroll down to the end of it. You've opened the webstone.
Okay. I'm just because you know what? We're almost at the top of the hour here. I'm just
Yes.
gonna make a note here to move it.
Hi, Jeff.
These are things that blow my mind. Who are these nerds? Well, nerds have to be smart. I'm certainly not smart.
Okay.
So I'm not including that.
Okay, so there's golf code, and then there is counting cards. So everybody would get to learn how to cheat at blackjack, although it's technically not illegal. And this is one where we can definitely use switch statements. So the way that counting cards works is that you maintain a register, I think they call it, or a count. And so low number cards are valuable to you because it causes the dealer to go bust more frequently. Whereas high value cards are ones that you want because they allow you to get a blackjack more frequently. So what we've got is basically just this table that you need to check the card value, and you need to add or subtract a value for it. And I think the easiest way to do this is just with a switch statement and combining multiple things. So we do a switch on card. What?
I'd just like everybody to appreciate those poll results. 40% soda, 40% Coke, and 20% invalid vote. Proud to be invalid.
How many
Uh,
there are? Like, how many people said something invalid? Oh, Carol Ann Hannon for the win. Receive is spelled incorrectly.
Oh man.
She's so good, Carol.
It's
I want to
how
be.
about tip?
okay. And
Yeah,
that's one that I always misspell too.
Tip yes.
me too, but that doesn't make it right.
I before
My
E except
eternal-
after C.
Except for this word.
Oh, we're
And
sounding as
90% of
A
the
as in
times.
neighboring way.
Everybody go here and send brownie points to Carol Ann Hannon.
Okay,
You know, it's good.
where is that word? Where is the word? It will
Ah,
receive. Okay, so
bird,
it's
bird, bird.
so what is it? It's
I don't know.
Receive for it will receive.
IV.
So under the table it has to be there. It is
No, no.
EI. Yeah.
EIVE.
E.
No. Erase that.
Yeah.
Erase the I think going over. Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Okay, RECEIVE.
Oh.
Sure. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Keep going. Keep trucking. It's fine. That's good.
We're what you call experts. Okay, so writing a bunch of case statements here.
You can hear the air quotes around the word experts
I think that should be the hashtag for this, like experts.
with the air quotes.
Yeah, okay. Case. Okay, and we don't have to return, or we can just have a default value of 0. Oh no, we're supposed to return something funky actually.
Well,
Uh,
Jeff Storbeck, how do I receive a code card? Well, you spelled it right, so that's a good start.
Whoa, everything went so weird.
It's better.
oh no, count is the
I love the Google Hangouts compression that makes everything go all stripy.
Okay.
Stripy.
So count is a global, and so we're going to increment count for that. And then for cases of 10, Jack, Queen,
Oh.
King.
I didn't know you could do that. The things you learn.
DWD is not entertained with Jeff's trolling. Wait, don't you mean minus minus?
Oh, yes, I do. Pairing! Pairing!
Like pairing.
Pairs.
Oh, and then I need to break.
Bears.
Okay, and I don't need a break on that. Okay, so what we need to return, oh, we need an if statement here. Okay, so we need to read the rest of the thing here. So what we're supposed to do is if count is, let's see, if we blah, blah, blah.
It's a really high resolution pair.
So if count is positive, we return bet. So if
Here we go.
count is greater than 0, then we return bet. No, we return the value count plus space bet.
Ooh, she's right.
Mm.
Jeff says, why not use an object? And then Carol Ann says, globals don't always work well with the other bonfires, so this might be a bad habit.
And normally they would not, but I've explicitly made this one work. I couldn't think of any other way to do it and also exercise the stuff, so
His professional
but
answer is deal with it.
it's deal with it.
Do we need to handle the default case here inside the switch case?
So there isn't really a default case because the only times that we want to change count is when the card is equal to these.
Well, you could default console.error, you spanner. You're meant to put in one of the card values.
Right, but that would mean that we're writing good code, and we're not allowed to do that here.
What about 7, 8, 9?
Yeah.
Is that a stupid question?
Well, there's 0. So for 7, 8, and 9, we are not modifying the value of count.
You didn't say it wasn't a stupid question.
What?
So you don't want to do anything for 7, 8, and 9. So
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't do anything. You're not modifying anything. Okay,
thanks.
so let me see if I actually wrote my own thing correctly. Yay, I did.
Yay!
So
Would it not make more sense to pass everything in as an array of cards?
yes, but they
And then
don't
do it.
know how to do for loops at this point in the curriculum.
Ah,
See, that's
the
the
good old, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
that's the thing that's killed me about each of these mini bonfires is I can't do it the right way because they don't know how to do it yet.
Sure.
Yes.
Anyway,
The color my Spider-Man.
okay. So by the way, are we still good on time? Because I know
I'm
Briana, you want to.
gonna go because it's my birthday. I'm gonna go do birthday
Okay.
stuff.
Well, you know what? If people want to hang around, I'll continue going through. I think I've got one or two more mini bonfires, and Ben's here, so he can give me a hard time as appropriate.
Also, falling for the background.
Carol Ann has a lot of work to do because she's found like 10 spelling errors and other things.
We should get Carol Ann on here.
Well, call Carol Ann.
Just get
Okay.
her on.
Caroline,
Email-
can you do you have a headset and stuff? Here, let me message her on.
Bye, everybody. I'm gonna go eat some cake and do other birthday things. Have fun.
Enjoy Fallout 4 in the background.
Yeah, right. Bye.
See ya.
Let's see. I'm looking her up on.
She's on Tinder with the same username.
Yeah. The problem is that I need to figure out how to spell her name.
Ooh, spelling hard. Spelling equals hard.
Okay. And
Return true.
I have to find the Hangout. She hasn't said whether she's willing to do it or not.
Not in use.
No, I got her.
No, she said not in use.
What's not in use?
I don't know. I think that's in response to the headset.
Oh, she's not fond of speaking. Okay. We will not try to drag you in. Okay, so we have two more mini bonfires to go through. Okay, so
I will read anything you put in the chat. So go for that.
Okay. We probably don't even need that little thing anymore, but anyway. Okay, so record collection. So let me actually talk a little bit more about the content that comes before here. So we have more information about how to create objects just as data storage. So we talk about the dot operator, the bracket operator, using variables in the bracket operator, updating object properties, and then we also talk about JSON data. So we actually have some examples of JSON data, like just sort of multiple nested arrays and objects. So the idea here is that we actually have you modifying JSON data. So we've got our record collection here. And so this is kind of a tricky one here. So what I've done is I've pre-entered a whole bunch of sort of items with fake IDs. So let me read through this. So you're given a JSON object representing a small part of your record collection. Each album is identified by a unique ID number.
Because it's spelled wrong.
For reals? Where?
I think you just need a Carol Ann with you at all times to supervise the making of stuff.
I'm not. Where have I written because?
We're going to have to wait for like the 10-second latency and then for whatever 5 minutes for typing and then. Now you would into a lot. Oh, I get that. In the previous one.
Oh.
JSON one probably.
The JSON. What was I doing? The
beta site could be just for Voltron. The beta site could be at the same point as the production site. I don't know if it's been deployed in the last while.
Well, so these need to go up on a separate database. I know, Caroline, if you want to message me in Gitter the thing, I'll get it fixed. Because like I said, I don't want to go all day. I don't know if people are dropping off the chat or not. Okay.
Probably going up actually.
Okay,
First
so
line.
Record collection. Here we are. Okay, each album is identified by a unique ID number, which has several properties. Not all albums have complete information. Write a function that takes an ID, a property, which we're calling prop, and a value. For the given ID in the collection, we have 3 rules here. Pieces is spelled wrong.
Not go well.
Okay, so the idea here is that we have to write like an if statement that takes into account these things. And we have introduce the has owned properties.
You know what, Jeff? Maybe it is serif. Maybe we should deal with that. Move on. It's Times New Roman. Get on with it.
Okay, so can you do me a favor and not give Jeff a hard time while I'm trying to type code here?
Right.
Okay, so if the collection, so it should have the ID. So collection ID dot has. No, we're not even testing it. The first thing we're testing is whether value is non-blank. Is not equal to a blank string. So if it's not a blank string, then there's two things that could happen. But if it is a blank string, then we're going to delete it. Okay, so we're going to delete collection ID prop.
A better check for that, it would probably be type of value.
It would, except that we haven't introduced type of.
Type of, yeah. Okay.
And I'm explicitly stating that it's going to be blank. Like all of the tests assume that it's blank. So then we have a nested if statement here. We say if, let's see, if the prop is equal to tracks, then we're going to push on, we're going to say collection ID prop push our value. And then otherwise, for everything else, we just do collection ID prop is equal to value. And so this is definitely a little bit more complex than the prior challenges. And I deliberately did that because my expectation is that by the time they've gotten here, they should be able to do this. They should be able to understand this. I'm hoping. I guess we'll find out how many zillions of questions we get. Okay, so if I run this, all of my tests should work, and all of the tests are similarly standalone, where I'm resetting values, or they're actually they are stateful. So as they go, or they're not independent anyway. So I don't do a whole lot of tests on here, but I'm pretty sure that they have pretty decent coverage. So that is one we're going to find out.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I do is I actually have it outputting the entirety of the collection in a nice formatted way in the output, so you can do changes to it here and see them reflected there. So I hope that that's meaningful to people. Are people going, oh, that stinks, or?
There doesn't seem much reaction to it. I'd be curious to see how many people come up with that solution. It is kind of like something that, because when I was doing challenges, it's kind of the whole thing of you're locked in, become locked in, and it's not the person's fault. It's purely because of the way people work. You become locked in, and you build the test around your solution, and then if people ever go, this doesn't make sense, it's hard to see where they've gone wrong because you're stuck with your solution in your own head.
Mm-hmm.
That was certainly something that I struggle with. But I think the biggest problem at the moment is people are losing their minds over the fact that from line 29 up they don't touch, and from line 44 down they don't touch. Well, they can touch 44 down, it doesn't make much of a difference. But the bit, like if you take that function on line 30 down and you just isolate that, it's not that bad in terms of understanding it. It's then people start going, oh, what about this other stuff? And it's like, well, just hold your horses.
So normally what I've done is I've put setup up top. And actually, let me go and modify this challenge seed so it has that. Let's see, record collection.
Because what people don't realize is that that's the kind of thing you get through Ajax or something. Also, what's going on with that save button? It's kind of just doing its own thing down there.
It's because it's too narrow.
Yeah, we make that overflow so it's like a scroll bar at the bottom.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or make like a smaller menu at the side.
Well, I don't know, this needs so much love. It's
the font, Times New Roman, and all the other headings that you want.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I've updated
definitely
I've
so.
updated the challenge seed, so at least that'll be there. So hopefully that'll make sense. Okay. One thing I haven't shown is that anytime we've got example code, in fact, let me show you that one of those array, um, like a huge complaint was like the push and pop. So whenever I've got code in line now, I explicitly label it as an example. So I've tried to use comments to delineate what's going on.
Hmm.
I also reduced the complexity of the push and pop ones, and I may want to reduce them further. So rather than being multi-dimensional arrays, they're single-dimensional arrays, because we get more questions on push and on pop than pretty much any other. This is one of those. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
think
if,
it's because it acts like nothing else in the sense that when you pop something off an array, it returns the value that's popped, but it actually modifies the array. I don't think people expect that because everything else is immutable.
yeah,
So it is a bit of a weird. It's always going to be a hard thing to teach in a sense that everybody's going to go, okay, that makes sense. I'm happy with everything.
yeah. Well, so we'll see. I've tried to make these more clear.
Everything will change utterly at least twice. Is how it ends up happening.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll start to see with the help what helpers get new questions and so on. All right, here's another example of, again, we've got like the code is clearly labeled example, and then we have the setup, and then we have your code goes here. And I've kept this pattern throughout all of the challenges. Okay, so going to what I believe is the last mini bonfire, which is Caesar's Cipher. And this one ends up being it ends up being a little bit ugly unless
Yeah, I
you
can
solve it
imagine.
mathematically.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because otherwise
So,
you'd have to have like some weird dictionary which has
mhm,
the Caesar values and then the original values, and you used to do all kinds of
right.
funny maths.
Well, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and cut and paste my solution because it takes a long time to type in. Uh, but I think that it's worth doing because it's worth getting people to think about it. And if they want to solve it a different way, they're more power to them. Okay, so here is my solution here. So what I did is I built a big lookup object. Now, you can do it mathematically, right? You can do it with subtracting 13 from the ASCII value and doing stuff like that. But what I'm doing is just doing a lookup. I checked for has own property, and I do have a waypoint on has own property. So you can check to see whether the letter exists because we want them to skip anything that is not a letter. So if it doesn't appear in our lookup, then it just gets passed through. And this is by far the most challenging of the mini bonfires. I don't know if it's too challenging. Honestly, it may be.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be easier actually to do with char at 0 and split it up and do that kind of stuff as opposed to doing like a match reverse lookup. Because that, if you want to build a proper Caesar cipher, which will normally allow you to set the offset, it makes that solution impossible to use. Or else you have to write a lookup for each possible cipher style. I genuinely think that again. You see, the other problem is that if you do charat, because the way ASCII works is A is 97, which people are going to go, what happened to the
Well,
first month to
and it's actually
96?
65 because it's capital A. So
This is also true.
I do explicitly say that all the letters will be capital, I believe.
Even still, I think charat is going to be an easier one. It will be an easy solution to make.
Well,
But they'd have to understand how charat worked.
but so the point of this particular exercise is to do for loops. And I
Yeah,
wanted to tie it into the stuff that they had previously learned about using objects and lookups.
which is why you use map, obviously.
Yeah, I know, which is why I wrote it because I was lazy, so I should probably write it the proper way, or with the for loop.
Well, it'll accept both, right? Both?
Yeah. Oh,
Both.
yeah. So if I could I could write it real quick here, right? For uh, 0 I is less than code r dot length I plus plus, and then
Oops.
again, this is maybe not. Oh, letter is. You know what? I'll just set it equal to code r dot I, just so I don't have to change all the rest of my code. Okay, let's see if that passes. And it does. So we have free code camp, free pizza, free love, and the quick brown dog
Should
jumped
have
over
a
the lazy.
question mark.
It is a question mark.
But that's nice.
Because the idea is that they need to be able to skip over the spaces and punctuation. And then we exercise all 26 letters with the quick brown dog jumped over the lazy fox. Oh, that's awkward. That's backwards, isn't it? It's the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. I'm going to leave it like that just because that's how I roll.
It's got character.
It's our dog, Happy Camper, from the previous
Camper.
previous
I
waypoints.
think I come up with that. I don't know. Was that the all challenges? Maybe Quincy did that actually. Is Happy Camper from the all challenges?
Yeah, I think that's yeah, and it's still in here.
Mine.
Okay, so I think that those are all of the mini bonfires. I didn't write anything for the random numbers, and I tried to clean these up a little bit, but I pretty much have not touched them. The JavaScript slot machine are still not included. The only reason they're showing is because we're on beta. But those are ugly and I hate them. So
Which ones?
the JavaScript slot machines. I know that
Yeah,
your baby.
They need to be print. Well, they need to be. They only really work if you put them in the multi-editor, which I've also. There's a funny pull request of a multi-editor that I made last night in half an hour, and like it's the most jerry-rigged heap of shit you've ever seen in your life. But actually, it would work nicely if we had that set up, but we don't, and so it's kind of just like a mess of stuff. And also, the editor is wide enough so everything gets broken on a new line, like this text wrap, and it actually looks awful.
Yeah.
The challenges work, it just looks awful.
Anyway, moving along. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually complete record collection, or did I? I did. I needed to save it. I needed to submit it. Okay, so I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. I don't know if anybody wants to see any more of these. Like I said, I'm going to try and get these up on the beta site in the next, like hopefully later today, assuming I can get a hold of Berkeley and that he can get everything set up.
In the next later today. I like that.
In the next later today, yes. So we'll just see if we can get that to go. And then everybody can go and find the remainder of my spelling errors. I am still offering a bounty if you file an issue on the freeCodeCamp repo, pointing out my my typos and my spelling errors. Then I will get those fixed, and I will and I'll try and give you some brownie points.
Millions of brownies. We're gonna just set up CamperBot to like distribute. Actually, that's a good idea. Having a bounty system. A successful PR will give you like 20 brownies.
I was thinking about that, but I don't know. We don't want to.
It'd be funny, I think.
We don't want to drive bad behavior.
No. Like
Okay.
lots of pointless PR. So like add a single fixing your typo one character at a time.
So I think there's a lot to like in here. There's a lot of things like we talk about global and local scope. Though I'm not convinced that these are fully functional yet. Okay, then I think that's going to be it. I'm just going to finish up the stream right now. So thanks everybody.
Do you want to do questions and answers?
Oh, do we? Yeah, sure. Yeah, if anybody's got any questions, we can take those right now.
We'll just get the elevator music for the good old 20 seconds it takes to think of
Yeah.
Wait for the delay. And where is React? That is a good question.
React is
React
not
is in a
here.
special place.
This is just basic JavaScript. The React
Sass
and
is
Sass
also in a
stuff,
special place.
that is all coming. It should be released at the same time, and it's primarily just going to be zip lines.
So the real stuff of that is dependent on infrastructural stuff, which has to still be done. Also, the multi-file editor. Good God, I can't talk. The multi-file editor will take some work after that, and once those are all done, development for the thing will actually be worthwhile. Com loss has to be changed slightly to accommodate 3 seeds and 3 seeds, and maybe 3 solutions. Or if the thing is made, if the framework is done in a really handy dandy way, it might just work with the way solutions are. It'll probably have to be made to work with the way solutions are because there's strings in that arrays. What else? What else? That's the crux of like the real on-site React stuff and the real on-site Sass stuff. Is that it? The other things? JS bonfires. Rex,
Yeah.
can you make any more JS bonfires? Is that a thing?
No, I have not done any new JS bonfires. So I haven't decided yet what my next thing is going to be. I may be doing intermediate JavaScript, or I may be going back and hitting the HTML because I think it needs some love too. I honestly don't know. I think, at least for the immediate future, I'm going to play lots of video games because I've been spending all
Right.
my video game time on writing bonfires.
I feel like I'm wasting lots of time, but that's a separate story.
Oh,
Um,
so the bonfires that come after this are the same normal, uh, just the regular bonfires, right? The meat bonfire, reverse a string, factorial is a number, and so on.
I think that the bonfire is in a fairly good state. I think JS is quite massive at this point. Sorry, basic JS is very massive. Intermediate might be nice. Like, what do you cover in intermediate? Because intermediates would just be kind of like
Well, what I
more
would see is
bonfire-esque things.
what we're calling object-oriented and functional programming. I think that this needs to be probably 50 to 60 waypoints, and we need to go into much greater detail about using functions and all of the functional programming stuff. Uh,
This is true. Um, yeah, functional object-oriented is weird as well because it's kind of like concepts, but
well,
illustrating them in a way.
but I guess
It's
so people need to understand how like that functions can be passed. They need to understand currying. They need to understand functions as first-class objects and callback functions, and to a lesser extent, uh, asynchronous stuff. So I might even do some set timeout or set interval examples to prepare them
yeah,
for the
you
Pomodoro.
can't really do that for
Well, I
well, you
know.
can, yeah, you can do it for Pomodoro, but you can't really do it for asynchronicity.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
know. So it's going to require some additional test code. What we would need to do is be able to do a mock for set timeout,
Hmm.
so we could capture the function that was passed to it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. So I've been talking
Uh,
with Berkeley about it quite a bit, but I think he's been doing the reactification before he starts working on the additional test infrastructure.
he's doing that and a refactor, so I think he's as busy as he can physically get. On Jeff's question on supporting TypeScript, no, probably not. But what will happen is that everything's going to be ran through Babel once the framework refactor is done again. Especially because when we're doing React, we have to support JSX, so that needs Babel anyway. We might as well support that'll also allow us to do ES6 challenges, and that won't be go.
What do you win? You win the admiration of your peers.
Sorry, I dropped my thing.
Well, there are extra you still get a brownie point for each one of these.
I've lost my train of thought. I dropped my thing.
Yeah.
Wrong. Choo-choo. Oh yeah, everything's gonna be passed through Babel anyway. So React will work, ES6 will work. I think are there add-ons for TypeScript? Like if there's an add-on for TypeScript that you can plug into Babel or CoffeeScript or anything else, I don't see why they can just be turned on.
So
Although they might conflict.
is
I
it
don't know.
is it possible to run Babel in a browser?
Sure, why not?
Lies. Okay.
Hold on, I'll look it up now and figure it out. I have a feeling that it's something that would have been done. You can use Babel to transpile client-side code. That's what when you're building React stuff, you're
Right.
using
But that's happening.
Babel
But that's happening server side, and then it's
by
serving the
Node.
client side code.
It is a Node module, so it has to be written in JS for all intents and
Right. But if
purposes.
it's written using ES6 itself, then it won't
I know
work.
it's not. It's written using ES5. It's definitely written using ES5 because it'd be pointless to make something that compiles server code from ES6 in ES6 because then you couldn't run it. And actually, the current version of Node and IOJS will run ES6 code, I believe. Definitely IOJS does. I think the new current thing of Node does. If we take a quick look at lib, we take it, yeah, it's JS. Parser.
Well, but anyway,
yeah, it's all JS.
that's not going to happen like anytime in the next 5 to 6 months, I don't think. I mean, that's a longer term, is being able to build React stuff within.
No, I think it should happen within the next 5 to 6 months. I don't think it's gonna happen tomorrow. It's gonna happen next month. It'll probably be the summertime big release thing. Would hopefully be that. What else? Have any other type questions?
Yeah,
Are they
I'm not
teaching
seeing any
front
other
code?
obvious questions. So I think I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to see about getting these loaded, and all that stuff. So thanks everybody for coming out, and we'll catch y'all later.